So what's your superpower right now?
So my superpower is my age. I am only 19 years old, and for a long time I saw that as my biggest weakness, just because I had a mindset of who's going to respect the skill and capability of a teenage girl on the internet. Um, because I didn't think that was official enough. And when we started talking, I had wanted to brand myself as a creative agency to sort of hide who I was, how old I was.
The Perspective Podcast is fuel for your mind and creative grind. Each week, we break down the art of healthy hustling, overcoming the inner critic, and growing your creative business. What's going on, everyone? We are back with the fall 2020 Side Hustlers Coaching Edition. We got the hot seat call tonight. We're in week 5. And just to recap where we are, we have a week 5 theme. And this week's theme is intention for anybody out there who's listening. I think this is going to be some goal for you too. And we always talk about, are you a professional or are you a hobbyist when I kind of present these topics to the students and to you listeners. So a professional is intentional about what moves they're making and where they invested time. And a hobbyist just likes to wing it, act on emotion, and gets easily distracted and invest their times into things that don't serve them. So this week is all about intent, and that's what I've challenged all my students with. And that's what we're going to go on with this call. We showed up with intent today. And leading up, we have Sarah, formerly Acevedo, but now I'll let you introduce yourself. So let us know who you are, what you're grateful for, and let's dive into deep of this. So
sure. So I'm Sarah Acevedo, but just married. So now Sarah Hamilton.
And we give a round of applause over here to celebrate everyone. So congratulations. Oh, and real quick, what's your husband's name?
Aaron Hamilton.
Aaron, can we give Aaron a huge shout out at the count of 3? Just be like, thank you, Aaron. Give me a count of 3. Everybody join in. 1, 2, 3. Thank you, Aaron. Everybody's on mute, so you can't hear him. But what I want to do with this is give him a shout out. Thank you, Aaron. Yes. So this is a commitment to this program. And she literally just got married and still showed up for the call this week. And as soon as she gets done, we're kicking her off so she can go enjoy hubby time. So we want to commend you as well as Aaron. So the floor is yours.
Yes. Awesome. Thanks. So again, I'm Sarah Acevedo Hamilton. I'm a freelance illustrator and designer, and I create branding, packaging, and editorial work for nature and food-based brands. So I guess more importantly, I want to help businesses attract like-minded clients that are lifelong and just passionate overall. My goal is to work full-time as a freelancer on like larger scale projects, like these branding and packaging projects, with specifically brands that empower like those like-minded people and the environment that they live in. So people and essentially the planet.
And we've come a long way from our first conversation in July, I think it was, to where you are now, kicking out your full branding. Hopefully everybody goes and check it out. Wildvine Creative, dropping it right there. So what's on your plate? What's going on? Or what do you want to address or talk about today?
Sure. So with everything kind of going on, I feel like I just turned one more year closer to 30, and I feel like time's just flying super fast overall. I feel like I want to move faster. I feel like time's going faster, and so I feel like I'm moving slower. And I think that's just a constant battle I've been kind of facing, just in general, as I'm just getting older and big life events are happening.
Do you find yourself comparing yourself to what other people are doing and it speeds this up more?
Kind of, yeah. It's almost like there's different landmarks, and I feel like I always kind of think of when I was little and I was like, oh, by 25, I'll have this done, or by 30, I'll have that done. And then after my birthday, like this week, I was just like, okay, getting closer to 30. And I don't know, it was just kind of like, it was just like a big moment. And I feel like I have progressed, but it just feels like I'm still 22 or something.
In your mind, where do you think you should be right now?
I in my mind, I thought I'd kind of be like already completely like freelance and like, I don't know, hitting like those bigger clients all the time. And I think it was just because I had to figure out what I wanted for a really long time. And I think I pretty much have like kind of defined that a little bit more lately, but I don't know. This is like, I don't know that, I guess.
And something we often talk about too. I mean, you've heard this over and over again. You're running you're running your own race at your own pace. So judging by where you are right now, where do you feel would be like huge success by the end of the 12 weeks of this program, by the end of this year? Like, where do you project yourself? And then let's move from there. And then let's keep progressing past that so we can at least set up a timeline. And it's good to dream big and have big, lofty goals for yourself, but at the same time, keeping yourself in check and realizing, like it's a freaking marathon, as cliche as that sounds.
Yeah, no, for sure. I think just rolling out my own personal brand and making that, like finalizing that in all the ways that I've worked on so far would be a good accomplishment by the end. And then just to have my 3 like main like passion client projects done, or at least 2 of them. So at least I can prove to myself that those are like, that I know that those are the projects I want to work on, but just making them, I think, would just solidify that feeling that that's where I want to be.
And what are those passion projects? Just so, I mean, I know the group knows, but now let's like just speak to it with more clarity.
Sure.
Now that the personal brand's about done and you're ready to like kick in gear to the next thing.
Yeah. So, they're all based off of like, it's like kind of a whole like package of like branding. I want to do a brand redesign and then a kind of packaging to go with the brand. So, and I have 2 to 3 different brands I want to work on within that like nature and plant-based realm. So I have like a concept for like a bee shop with everything that's like honey and like honeycombs and that sort of thing. And so creating a brand for that and then packaging for that shop. And then I was looking at like creating stuff for food brands. So like, I'm trying to think of one of the ones I made, like a cheese shop. I really like shops. It was like a cheese
we all
shop.
love cheese.
Who doesn't? No, for sure. And so, yeah, so those were like 2 of the examples that I had. So they're more like food based. And then possibly if I have time, like a garden one or something related to something growing essentially. So like a garden shop or a plant shop or something of that sort.
Well, and for those who don't know as well, and when she's saying like she's got these brands and these concepts, what we've been challenging people in here that want to focus down like the freelance, the client relationship, and running their own business with client work, full-time doing that. We are essentially creating ghost brands that align with their values, their interests, their beliefs, finding that secret sauce. And so that would be a big win if you lock down 2 or 3 of those on top of your personal branding. And what does 2021 forecast look like? Just so why I'm asking these questions is, again, I like setting targets for ourselves, setting expectations for ourselves, as well as like by the end of this program, you have a plan. With all of you, the whole goal is by the end of 12 weeks, you know exactly what you're going to work on next, going into the new year. So you have that momentum. And so from there, getting those couple brands down, what does that look like next for you?
Well, I would say just from there, probably working on more brands that would be like that. So just keep getting those projects. So either making more ghost brands or actually working with clients like those and applying them to the work that I'm doing. And I think that's really what my big question is. Like, I know I said it was kind of like, I feel like things aren't moving fast enough, but it's like, how do I make like a long-term plan like that's right now? And,
get 6 years of work into now. How do I get those results? And what I want to push right here is like, so you got these brands, but what's next in terms of what are you doing with them? This is more than just an Instagram post. So the goal is to get hired
Right.
for this shit. You know, that's the whole entire goal. So when you're getting these brands out, you know, what's the next thing? Describe like your website. You know, what's your moves on your website? Are you building case studies around it? That was kind of what we originally had talked about in the beginning before we dove into this was website. And I think you're getting even more clarity on maybe lettering isn't the thing you want to necessarily teach. Maybe you're going to become a brand strategist and an expert helping other people with brands since you have all this experience in creating visual brand identities in your unique illustrative lettering style. You know, so what is it from there? Potentially building an email list, growing fan base around it, marketing yourself, building pitch decks, outreach. So what does that look like for you? Challenging you to like have that next gear ready to kick into.
Yeah, a lot of the things that you mentioned actually. So like essentially getting client work would be great, but it's also just building also my portfolio, and then maybe possibly an email list of people who are either into the kind of like brands that I like working with, or just kind of have like a like-minded bond with me in some like personal way. So building like an email list and developing my website so that it feels like more complete and cohesive and like just like target to exactly where I want to be. And essentially just kind of like what I said earlier, like nurturing a bunch of people that are passionate about the same things I'm passionate about.
Where do you find these people?
Garden shops, Whole Foods.
Home Foods. So we have
Whole
these
Foods,
targets in mind. Do you have ways of finding where these people live? Where does this ideal audience? Yeah, Instagram, that's fine, but I don't have the answers right now, but it's more challenging all of you to find the answers of where are those people at that you want to work with and how do you reach them? So is it like tagging them on your Instagram posts or specifically bee related brands, like something Lane's been doing as well, or getting like once you knock out this honey project, something I really want to encourage you to do that Lane's been doing as well is going into those Facebook groups, finding where anything honey or bee farm, bee related anything lives and tagging the shit out of like Burt's Bees just for the hell of it, you know, things like that. So little seeds I want to plant. How can we be a little bit more intentional, even with your like current branding project and all of you? There's those logo groups that I keep inviting you guys into. Take initiative, give yourself an action item. Here's an action item. I'm giving you a break over this weekend, but like coming next week, I would love to see you post in a Logo Geeks group or the Designers League or any of these places. When you get a project done, put that shit in there. And you're going to get some people who might just be haters. That's fine. You got some people who probably will give you incredible feedback, but at the same time, like you may put it in front of someone who's like, yo, I actually know somebody or a buddy in this business who owns a bee farm. They're looking to scale and they're looking to do a rebrand. You never know. It's like we're planting these seeds to build these relationships and these connections. So that's a huge thing. One, with your personal brand, I would love to challenge you to post something in that group. And if you have questions of which ones you want to post it in, just hit me up and I'll guide you to those groups. And just little things like that goes the extra mile of what you're already doing, but just like, let's push it a little bit further. Are you on Behance or anything yet? Because all of you freelancers, we got to start pushing your stuff on Dribbble and Behance. Have you done any of that yet in the meantime?
Not yet, but I do have a Dribbble account and I do have a Behance account. I just haven't used them in a long time, but I can definitely start just putting everything I've already shared out on there.
Okay. Let's build some specificity around this and some more action items. So by how many posts do you have total for your current project of your personal branding?
3 that I've shared so far, but I think I still have like 3 more pending, like 3 more that I have made that I need to share out still.
Okay, we're gonna share your page real quick. Can you guys all see my screen? Yeah? Can you see my screen, Sarah?
Yeah.
Okay. Oh, snap! Congratulations! Okay, so for all of these, okay, I would want to see a minimum of 3 posts on Dribbble. Okay. So definitely something like this. Convert them into, oh my God, what is Dribbble? 1600 by 1200. So it's 4 by 3. 4 by 3.
Okay.
And so you're gonna have to convert a couple of these. Maybe it's like a crop. I love this. The illustration coming off of the mock-up, absolutely incredible. Love this. That's got to be a mock-up.
Okay.
I would show this one for sure. Combine it all into 4x3, and you can do this all quickly. Actually, lead off with this. This is a 4x3. Find a way to crop that or expand it or whatever it is in your artboard. Lead off with that, and to kind of like walk people through on your dribble so they can see the progression, and do a rebound, and then share this one. And honestly, all 4 of these work great for a rebound. I would like to challenge you to make 4 posts out of this. And once the project is completely done, wrap it up in Behance. When do you project having this done as we kind of wrap things up?
What is today? Today's Thursday. Probably by the weekend, I should have all my posts that I wanted to do out.
Okay. Okay. All your posts will be out. So by Monday, we can attack these action items. I would sprinkle out throughout the week, just have something like, I don't think you can schedule in Dribble, but at least you can have like the copy and the image ready to go, upload, paste, done. And then I can show you some basic HTML. You can link over to your Instagram or your website, whatever. And then you're going to package that up and make a Behance project out of it.
Okay. Package everything.
So, yep. We're going to post 3 to 4 designs from Dribble. I like the photo of your face to kind of lead off with it. Definitely this brand identity system. And gosh, at least 2 more mocks are showing it out being used somehow. I really think this is a strong one. And I think this is a strong one as well.
Okay.
Showcase all of it on Behance. And I think those are some solid action items for you. I'm not going to give you a date to do it by like I normally would, just because you're a newlywed and I don't know what your schedule and everything's like, but all these other students are going to get like dates and times. So I'm giving you some leeway.
Okay.
Cool.
Yeah.
And yeah, that way we're making your work live a little bit farther and giving yourself better odds of getting discovered, because it doesn't all just rely on Instagram. So, solid action items for you. Okay.
Yeah.
Anything else you have to put a cherry on this?
No, I think that was good. I notice you always like push the stuff to the next level. I always kind of tend to want to keep it where it is. But we need to stretch it.
Yeah. Well, and at the same time, like to get to where you want to be. I mean, it's a day by day thing, but I also want to like challenge your mindset. What if this was the timing now and you were meant to figure it all out now and do it the right way because you figured out like who you are, what you wanted, what your brand's going to be about. And maybe now is the perfect timing when you're old enough and mature enough and you know what you want.
Yeah.
Versus it happening before maybe you're ready. So
different
way to look at it.
Yep. I would agree.
Go enjoy being a newlywed, and thanks for jumping on with us.
I will. Thanks, guys.
All right. See you. Have fun.
All right. Bye.
Bye. All right. Next up, Nicole.
Hi, guys.
Hold on. I lost my notes.
I am Cole Yangiano. I'm a Colorado-based artist and the host of a new little mini episode, Wisdom and Wit. We're on episode 2.
When this comes out, you're going to be on like episode 4 or 5. So speaking to the future here.
Mom watches it. Like, it's great. No. No, it's slowly growing. So it's good stuff. But no, this show really was something that this family and Scotty really helped me curate, because I thought I was just going to be merchandising my art, and I love my art, but this show really speaks to who I am, and really sharing my passion with beautiful creatives, and helping them really find their true gift, and I do that through, these weekly episodes, so for those creatives that really crave that honest with some wit, and inspirational, but actionable, just advice that I've kind of lived through, and be every day, and really help them, believe in who they are. So I want to be that influence in people and help people really hone in on their gift, because I believe in people, and especially creatives. They're my favorite. So yeah, with that, like, I know I'm only on episode 2, but like my dream goals are to have that, YouTube channel or that hub or that place where I'm really having an impact, on my community and all of the beautiful creatives in it, and that I get to watch people really grow. and find some value in my live and learn lessons, because that's what life's all about. So that's my goal.
And what kind of win do you got for us today? We're all about sharing wins or something you're grateful for.
Oh my gosh. Okay, guys. So I love this win for today and what I'm truly grateful for, because I feel like I practiced what I preached. So I have been after a new position, and I was scared to death that I wasn't qualified, and I didn't think it would meet my financial needs. And so I applied for the damn job and asked for more, and I freaking got it today. Always ask for more, and screw fear. Fear's a liar.
Round of applause.
You guys always need to ask for more.
Closed mouths don't get fed, and the answer is always no if you don't ask.
That's right.
Huge. The universe delivers again. Okay. So I hit Nicole up yesterday with some notes. Just be like, whoa, you crushed it. Thanks for the shout out on that one too. But her episode 2, absolutely awesome. And I'm like, here, I got some really, really good notes. Simple, yet super effective changes. And I started giving them to her. I have like 6 of them. I started giving them to her this morning, and I got through 1 and 2. I'm like, oh shit, this is some fire that I think a lot of people could find some value in. So I want to share the notes here. Let me share my screen and share what I'm looking at. So I'm not going to play the video. We'll get you on a good face. There you go. We'll pause it there for you. Okay. Let me pull up my notes over here too. Nicole notes. And originally when I told you I had some notes for you, it was going to be something simple. And then I started going in depth. I'm like, okay, this is some heavy stuff. Let's go into it. So number 1, immediately. Oh, I lost your face. There you go. Weekly wisdom and wit, 3 traits to seek in a mentor for creative growth. And I told you right away, like, hey, in your captions, you show me an outline, like back-to-back weeks now of like your bulleted outline of what you want to talk about. This is gold. And I'm like, dude, you're creating show notes here. These are your show notes. And people are lazy. We're lazy people. Not everybody's going to watch the full 7 minutes. Super fans will, but some people just need a quick recap. Some people consume differently. Like me, I consume audio better than sitting and watch videos. I really only watch videos of things if they're people I really, really care about, and I'm studying to try and find a way to give them feedback. Otherwise, I'm probably not going to watch people's IGTV stuff. That's just not me. And so for those people that are too lazy, you're providing them now a brief synopsis of it in your caption. And people need that short interview. And then especially like once you scale this to like YouTube or your blog or whatever it is, now you have show notes and it's SEO friendly. And so we're training early on how to basically create show notes. Any questions on that?
No, that's awesome. I didn't even think of that.
Okay. Yeah. And kudos to you. This is her first time really doing stuff on camera. It started off as like a weekly series, but then I'm like, dude, this is more to it. And we're all a little bit envious and jelly over here because she just makes it look so easy. She's probably the only one that wasn't nervous for this call tonight, like I said earlier in the pregame. But number 2, so you're good on this one?
Yep.
Okay. I'll fly to the second one too, since we talked about this a little bit earlier, but having a little introduction and an outro cadence to your videos. I'm trying to give you some screen time, so viewers out there will want to go and click. There's your homeboy, Nick, always dropping the love over here. We'll get to Nick next. But having that cadence, it's going to help you start and end your show, but it's going to help people become attracted to like consistency. Like the Monday Night Football, everybody knows the Monday Night Football song's coming on, or when I drop my intro, it's always the same. And something that you could be is simply, hey, welcome back to your weekly wisdom and wit. I'm Nicole, and this show is all about helping you insert value proposition. And episode 3 today is all about, here's your title. And why we do this is it helps set expectations. I talk about this in my speaking classes, but you want to tell them what you're going to tell them, and then tell them what you told them. So in your intro, you're giving an overview. Tell them what you're going to tell them. And then you get into the body, tell them. And then you get into the outro, landing the plane, tell them what you told them with the recap, and then end it with like your signature ending. And so for me, it's the beginning is always like, what's going on? You're listening to episode 191 is what I said for this one, I believe. Or wait, nope, 189. And my name is Scotty Russell, yada, 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 yada. And then I always ended it like, oh, you do a great job with your call to action. So you're always telling people where to share or comment below to a specific question. It's beautiful. It's genius. And then let them know, like, I think you said something like this for your outro. Then, and it I made up some shit. Stay creative and witty. Love you and see you next week. And you blew a big old kiss. I'm like, dude, that's brilliant. You give a shimmy in the intro. Love it. Immediately, like, make people fall in love with you. That likability, like, know, and trust. And let them go with that smooch at the end. So I'm just planting some seeds for you to go. But do you have anything like in mind already cooking?
For the outro?
Yeah. Kind of like how you want to do your intro as well as your outro. Do you kind of already have some things? And just, if you find something, but then you find something better, it's okay to change it. You're early in the game.
Yeah.
So don't feel married and pigeonholed into it, but you kind of have some ideas brewing.
Yeah. I do. I haven't figured out like that cadence yet, but I know that's going to come with consistency. So I feel like I'm like in the early growing pain stage.
Cool. Yeah. Now you're doing everything we're talking about right now is like the shit it took me like 2 years to learn. So you're learning it 2 episodes in there. So it's a lot thrown at you. I think I can stop share screen on this and talk about the rest of them. So, okay. 1 and 2 are making sense.
Yep.
Okay. Perfect. Number 3. The most important thing you can do right now, the most important thing all of you guys can do, even if you're out there listening to this right now, if you are out there listening to this, you see how I'm not speaking, hey, y'all, hey, everyone. So it's all about acting like you're talking to one person. All right. That's a big thing. Hey, you guys, love y'all. You know, that's cool and all, but man, build these super fans. And once you keep talking to like one person, so instead of love y'all, love you. Have a great day. See you next week. I'm trying to talk to, and I address you guys all as like, you know, as plural. But if I'm on the podcast or if you read a caption of mine or you listen to me talking on the podcast, I don't address the masses. So one huge thing to work on, and that's what's gonna lead to people being like, dude, I'm DMing you. I felt like that was meant for me. I felt like you were talking to me. And the first time you hear that, you're gonna be like, yeah, you're gonna get goosebumps. You'll be like, fuck yes, I was meant to do this. All right. And that's like going to be that extra fuel when you're struggle busting, like you like to say, picking up on your lingo. That's going to be like that spark to keep going. Does that make sense?
Yeah. No,
you're going to start catching it. So, number 4, rewatch every session. Do you rewatch your videos already?
No.
Oh, that was a sinister ass laugh. Have you watched anything?
Yes.
Yes or no?
I mean, no.
Okay. Homework now. It's like, okay, treat this like your basketball player or any type of athlete. Chris know what we're talking about here. You got to watch film. You got to watch film to see how you perform, to find ways to improve. You can spend 7 minutes to start picking your shit apart, and I can help you pick your shit apart. You know, so rewatch every session to find areas of improvement. Like Beyonce. So Beyonce, when she's on stage, she crushes a show, and she goes right into watching basically her performance.
Sweet.
Yeah. Fun fact for you guys. Like that's beast mentality. You know, that's when you want to be a professional. That's what professionals do, not hobbyists. And you're not a hobbyist. So, and why I'm saying that to keep these areas of improvement, to watch filler words like ums and ands and likes. Easier said than done. Easier said than done. I give you some tips off camera, but basically sometimes if you don't know what to say, silence is okay. Collect your thoughts. You are like me, you're a bubbly person, and silence, you want to fill it. I feel like I'm the same way. So so's and ands and like, I do it too. They can distract the rhythm of the gold that you're out there slinging. Like you're a gunslinger, you're dishing out so much and you're just a natural on film and camera anyway. And these are going to be huge and help you because eventually you're going to be on a stage. And these are the hard things to teach a speaker right away. What's up?
All you people better come.
Yes. We'll have a conference just for students sometime. Okay. So that's a big one. And having the outline and kind of going through your outline a couple times because you don't even use notes, right? Do you memorize this shit?
Yeah.
You're insane. That's not easy. Oh, and then the last one. So where are you looking when you record these?
In the camera.
In the camera? Okay. Sometimes let me see back here. Sometimes it feels like you're looking down just a little bit from the camera. Like, so when I'm looking down, I'm looking at you right here, but the camera's up here. Now it looks like I'm actually looking at you. So a lot of times you're like this, how I'm doing it. but maybe just look up a little bit more and make that eye contact. It just makes that connection a little bit more. Molly Jakes did a great Instagram reels about the power of like looking at the camera. So for all of you, why I'm saying this, as I push you all to get on your Instagram stories, look at the damn camera. Don't look at yourself. That's the easy thing to do. I do that. I still got to catch myself too, but make sure you're like intentionally looking at the camera. If you don't have notes and you're winging it, just stay glued to that camera. You can keep looking around and doing all that in the moment stuff, but look at the camera. And that's it. But those 6 things are going to massively transform what you're doing right now to the next level. Like it's going to help completely. Do you have any questions on that?
No, that's awesome.
Hopefully that's helpful.
Heck yeah.
Okay. So action items. When's your next one coming out? Is this every Wednesday? That's like Wednesday. Do you have a specific time or is it just like when you're able to get it out?
In the morning. So I want to post it by 9 a.m.
9 a.m. Okay. Tell people when they can expect it. Like this is your call to action. Hey, like for me, I'm just like, hey, every Wednesday morning, 5 a.m. Central Time, get that midweek boost of that Perspective podcast in your life. So I'm telling you to tell people right now.
Heck
so
yeah.
Every Wednesday at 9 what? You're in Eastern or not Eastern, but Pacific Mountain or Mountain. Okay. So yeah. So tell us, when can we expect this?
9 a.m.
Mountain time every Wednesday. We're setting a cadence. We're giving people the call to action. What else you got? I feel like I talked a lot and I want to give you some time to talk.
No, this is great. No, I'm so thankful for you guys and helping me embrace this new little journey I'm on. So thank you.
By the time this next one comes out, this will be a couple weeks. So you'll be on like episode 4 or 5. But in the meantime, what's episode 3 going to be about? Just so we know. That way, I'm creating action items real quick.
It is. So it's kind of the age-old imposter syndrome and really touching on that bad boy.
Do you kind of have your like Fridays are the day I do my outline and Saturdays the day I do this?
I do.
Okay. Share people what your process is.
Okay. Yeah, I would love that. So do you want me to share it right now?
Yep. I'm trying to give you some more screen time since I talked your ass off.
No, I think it's awesome. So I always dedicate Fridays to my topic and really outlining that. And then when I take myself on my artist date is when I take the deeper dive in, and that's on Saturdays, and really work through that outline and think it through. And then Tuesdays are when I record it.
Tuesdays are record, so it's like fresh on your mind. Tuesdays, yeah. Okay. And it's strictly IGTV right now, but you've been posting over at Facebook. I think you got a lot of traction on this last one. More traction on Facebook than Instagram, right? Yeah. But it's like you're being known locally as well. So it's like feeding 2 birds with 1 scone.
I know.
And when do you do your episode of artwork?
So the episode of artwork is always done the day before as well. So once I kind of get the vibe and I record it, I take a photo of myself that day. Because I want people to get familiar with my face. Definitely.
And you're good at it anyway. Like it's a magnet. So even my wife watched it. So she watched what I reshare. She said, tell her she did a good job, but tell her to watch out for those ums.
I know.
At this beginning stages though. So like nip it in the butt now. Go read up on how to eliminate filler words after this. Action item for you over the weekend. Listen to a podcast or find a YouTube video. So action item. That would be the biggest action item for me is just that. That would be if you can eliminate that by the end of the 12 weeks or like narrow them down big time, it's going to improve you. And people are going to like notice it and want to hire you to speak.
Yeah.
Cool. And what can people expect from your artwork too? Because it's not just that.
Yeah. So the artwork is really around illustrating things and animals and landscapes in the Colorado environment. So man, I love me some Colorado. And so I also love birds. And so I'm in this kind of phase where I'm drawing a lot of backyard birds. So
if you like outdoor, anything positivity, good vibes, and birds, this is who you need to follow. So, and eventually I'd like to see you create that Facebook group and start building that community, something we'll work towards because people are going to start really, really gravitating towards you and want to be a part of what you're building. So anything else you want to say?
No, that's it. Mwah.
Mwah. Love you. All right. We got Mr. Nick at Night.
So I guess to start off with my elevator pitch.
Don't tell people.
Oh, okay. Well, I'm Nicholas Sanchez. I'm a motivational line artist working under the name Aurelio. I'm from Cedar Falls, Iowa.
Woo! He's in my
Yep.
backyard. He's like,
Yeah,
what?
yeah.
How many miles away from me? Like 2?
Like 2 miles.
2
Legit.
miles. Yeah,
I
literally.
can walk down there. Yeah. That was dope. But no, I'm working on a 5-part canvas maze series. It's titled Path to Purpose. It allows me to document and share my creative story. My goal with it is to help others develop a positive mindset and while staying authentic and believing in themselves to start their own creative journey. My future goal is to eventually work on art full time and help out others and create some workshops for people to find their own style, their own medium, and find their own voice.
Oh, yeah.
Yep.
Damn. It's almost like you wrote an elevator pitch, dude.
Yep.
I mean, the cat's out of the bag. So one thing we do practice in here, and I gave them all assignments over the last week, is to lock down your elevator pitch, who you are, what you do, why should anybody care, what's in it for them, and then what's your future state goals of it as well. And so that's why they're all sounding so polished and professional, because when you leave here, you're going to be able to communicate with confidence and conviction and lots of clarity of what you do. And that's, again, intention and what a professional would do, not a hobbyist. So if you have a hard time explaining what you do to people, you need a damn elevator pitch and you need some coaching. So what's one thing you're grateful for?
I'm grateful for food. I'm kind of hungry, so I'm kind of thinking about that on the side. Should have grabbed a bite to eat, but I'm also grateful that I have a job, grateful that I'm healthy, especially with today and everything going on. So I got to appreciate that.
Definitely. And for those who don't know about Nick doesn't come from an art background. You basically just started this year. You made an intention to just show up and start like post and talk a little bit about that.
Okay, so I've always kind of been a creative growing up. Like I knew it was in me, but I never felt like it was, I guess I never felt comfortable to be myself growing up. And I grew up in a small town where like being an artist wasn't really glorified, you know? So I just kind of tried to be someone that I wasn't. And then after, you know, being out of high school, I started being myself more and dabbling more into art. There was other art stuff that I did in the previous years, but this was an actual year that I actually made a commitment to it. Just because I just told myself, you know what, this is who I am. So I just started posting it and started not caring about what other people think of me. If they want to enjoy my art, they can. If I'm not their taste, then that's fine too. But I wanted to post it so that way, one, I could make a commitment to myself, and then I can show others that it's okay to be yourself.
And consistency to me is like your middle name. Consistent Nick. Ooh, I like that better than Nick at Night. I don't know where the other one came from. My old Nickelodeon love, but consistent Nick. But you just were slanging posts every day. But when we linked up, you had no strategy.
No.
You know, what are some things that you've really grown, areas that have helped you like improve what you're doing, who it's for, your reach of it to you? Like, so where were you before and like, where are you now? So and why I'm asking all this is because it's hella inspiring and relatable to a lot of people out there. That's why I'm kind of digging. I know people are going to like find this helpful.
Yeah. So before I just wanted to make art. That was my only intention. But I knew that I had to have other intentions if I wanted to take it more seriously and actually make money off of it or pursue a career out of it or, you know, grow from it and reach a broader audience. You know, I had to develop more skills into that. And so a couple of things I've learned over the past month or a couple months is just trying to speak more to an audience. Trying to think of, you know, what would help others, trying to be more personal and sharing my story. You know, before I would just, you know, document my art, but now I can actually tell my story.
No caption.
Yeah, no
Nothing.
captions.
It was like the first thing we worked on.
So yeah, I think that's definitely helped a lot, is just thinking, okay, you know what, I can go further in depth with this than just creating my art. I can actually share my story because, you know, one thing I didn't think of was that other people could relate to that, you know. I mean, obviously, I try to, my goal now is to help people that were in my position before, which I knew, but I figured I could just do that just by posting art. But now I'm realizing there's other ways of doing, of sharing my story that I could help people that were previously in my position.
Well, and I think we're tapping into a new superpower of yours too, is that you're a writer. You're a writer, man. A lot of you are. We're really tapping into this. I'm like, the writings where it's at, like the art is the honey we talk about, you know, to draw people in, to attract people in, but then you just like blow them away with your writing abilities. And now you're like tucking in carousels of like storytelling as well as in the caption. So like you're hitting people where they are. If they're not going to read the caption, at least they hit the slides, you know? So like, I want people to find what you're doing and study it in a sense to like add in that marketing leverage to it, you know? Because anybody can just, before you were just posting and hoping people would see it. No hashtags really, you know, no caption, just an image, but you post like every day. So we've really, really baked things down. Maybe you're not doing every day now, but you're being more intentional about what you're doing. This dude fucking traveled with a canvas to Florida, Iowa to Florida, drove there and took a canvas to complete his project, number 1 of his series, to hit his due date. Like consistent Nick, you know, that says a lot. Like that's a round of applause in itself. So you acted like it's nothing, but to me, like I hear people all the time. I just don't have the time. I don't have the energy, of the motivation. So shut up. Okay. You can make it happen. Do you have anything you're currently like struggling with? I thought those were just important points to like highlight for people.
Struggling. I mean, internally, I still have that imposter syndrome, but I want to start working on videos. And well, I've been doing a couple of videos, but I feel like I still struggle with it. Videos just aren't my forte. So I definitely need to maybe talk to Nicole about that.
Right. Well, shit. We just gave a ton of tips earlier for people on camera. Like those are golden tips. I was writing those down.
Yeah.
Good thing there's a replay for you guys. For sure. In terms of imposter syndrome, we all deal with it. Just raise your hand if you deal with that ever. Pretty sure everybody, you out there listening, please raise your hand too. You just nod your head. Yet you're still showing up. So what keeps you going right now? Or what's fueling your drive to just like do it anyway? Even though there's probably an inner critic telling you, Nick, you suck, but stop doing this. Nobody cares.
Honestly, a couple of things. One, I have you guys to hold me accountable. I realized that you guys are really kind of a family and you guys have all helped me out in some way, shape, or form. I think I've reached with every one of you guys. So
feels like we've been together for longer than a month.
Yeah, definitely. So that keeps me going. And then also I just don't want to look back and, you know, I want to take advantage of the moment that I have now. Because I don't want to look back and think, oh, I should have put more work. Because that's something that I kind of currently always do is kind of, I look back at my life and I'm like, oh, I could have tried harder. I remember being in sports and thinking, oh, I could have done better in that game. I could have done better in that practice. And so as I'm getting older, I'm like, fuck, I'm just going to work hard. And then, I mean, obviously I'm going to try to take some days off, but I just don't want to look back and say I didn't try enough or didn't try hard enough.
Love it. Don't feel like you left something on the table, right? I mean, you guys just paid good ass money and put a lot of time into this program to be like leaving this feeling like you left something on the table. Like I love hearing that you're saying you don't want to leave anything on the table too. Like get your money's worth, get your investment. You got skin in the game. It's like people who pay for school and then skip class, you know, why? What's the point? So, dope, man. What's your Instagram handle so people can follow you again? It's kind of a hard one, but it'll be in the show notes.
Aurelio_XCV, AURELIO_XCV.
Anything else you kind of want to add on top of this?
I don't know. Just develop a positive mindset, be yourself, and believe in yourself. Start your own journey.
Definitely. You're going to be on stage too. Eventually you're going to have some type of like video show. Oh, action items real quick. And then we'll move on to Lane. Action items video. What have you done so far video wise?
I've just recorded myself drawing, but I haven't done any like face recording.
You know what we're doing this week now.
I also want to do more of my process. It's easy for me to just, do a line on the video. But I think I want to do more of my process.
And shout out to you. It used to only be in like a journal, and now we've graduated to canvases. We started doing reels. Let's get into some process videos. But this week, when's your next post go out?
I want to do one tomorrow. It'll probably just be a work in progress.
That's fine. When's the final go out?
The final will probably be Monday.
The final will be Monday. Okay. So action item, the canvas.
Yeah, the next part.
Challenge to you. I want you to get on and talk at least 15 seconds in a row. So 45 seconds consistently, a segment of just like talking about the piece, what it's about, and what's in it for someone else. Give an elevator pitch for your piece.
Okay.
Yep. So you will be on camera starting Monday, and you have to do this for every canvas piece you put out there.
Okay.
All right. And you have 3 more. Right. So by the time this comes out, you'll have like 1 canvas piece left. You'll be on, people start seeing your face more. Like people got to see your face right now. So, cool. So we got an action item there. Is there anything else? It's tough to give you action items because you're just like consistent with it. So I have to dig.
Yeah.
Does that make you uncomfortable?
No, I'll take it.
Okay, perfect.
Yep.
Well, it's supposed to make you uncomfortable. If it didn't, why the hell haven't you been doing it? So
exactly.
I'll up the ante and be like, hey, I gotta have you record like a 30-minute IGTV.
This is what I'm here for.
Okay, soon the following week, action item, an Instagram Live.
Instagram Live.
Yeah. So this coming week, get on your stories and still talking your stories from here on out. Moral, shout out to Moral for like sparking my idea on this one, but an Instagram Live the following week.
All right.
So week 7. All right. Unless you want to do it next week. So cool.
I'll see what I can do.
All right, brother. Keep up the good work.
Appreciate it. Thank you.
Yes, sir. All right. We got Lane Ewing, the Lane train coming through.
So my name is Lane Ewing, and I am a indie face designer. I am a detail-oriented brand identity designer and packaging designer. My work is heavily influenced by vintage design and natural color palettes. I create for artisanal brands right now, specifically for coffee shops and coffee roasters. And my goal is to consistently land coffee branding jobs and be fully freelance by March of 2021.
That, my friends, is a smart goal. Smart goal, something specific, measurable.
I'm excited for that one.
Relevant, time bound. What's something grateful for?
Honestly, I'm really grateful that hard work does pay off. I saw it a lot in this last week. A couple weeks ago, I crammed really hard and was just trying to work ahead in my projects and posting and figuring out my process more. And this week was kind of hectic. So because of my prep, my work didn't suffer and what I was posting didn't suffer. So I don't know if that counts, but I am grateful that saying is true. So
yeah. Round of applause. That's called batching, my friend. There's power in batching stuff. So little background story again about Lane. Lane hit me up last, I think, January, interested in the spring program. And it just didn't work out that time. You had school and everything else. And fast forward, you're like, I'm just gonna give it all I got at school right now. I don't feel like I'm getting what I need, but fast forward to August, she hits me up. I have like 1 or 2 spots left. Or actually, somebody
wasn't able to. 0 spots left.
0 spots, yeah. And somebody backed out last minute, and it opened up for you. And we jumped on a call, had a game plan, and Lane quit school to go all in on becoming a freelancer and investing in the program. Talk a little bit about that in your mindset, because this isn't easy to do, to bet on yourself and invest in yourself. People are scared to do it. It's scary, I bet.
I didn't think so when we had our last call before finalizing everything. But the past couple weeks, I've realized like how much my life has actually changed with schedule and everything. So for background, I was in I'm not gonna say the name, but I was in a 2-year university program that is internship based, and I was there for a full year. I had an 11th month long apprenticeship that I completed, and just after some conversation on where I was going to be going next and what the position would look like, it was going to be fully remote. I just didn't feel like it was going to help me obtain my career objectives as quickly or as streamlined as I wanted to. And so I had a lot of those long, difficult conversations with the school staff, with my parents, just trying to figure out, making sure I wasn't being dumb and impulsive. And everything, like the timing worked out perfectly. I was thinking, okay, this is it, I'm gonna leave. Message Scotty, I was like, hey man, it's like a week before your deadline. I don't know if you have any spots left, but I'm probably gonna quit school. No matter what, I'm going to quit school, but I want to do this program because we'd been talking for months about it, and I just was like dreaming maybe someday it'll work. And so you were like, well, I don't have any spots available, but if one opens up, I will let you know. I think the next day it opened up, and we sort of talked about where I wanted to go with my work, my career, and then our call we had, I was actually on vacation, stopped in Savannah for the night. We had our phone call or our call there. We're like, all right, this is it. We're doing it. I'm in. So quit school, week later, started the program while I was in Florida on vacation, came back, and just have been sort of all in since that.
Grinding. So
nonstop.
Let's talk about quicken your superpower, and then let's talk about like just your project approach, what the goal is. So what's your superpower right now?
So my superpower is my age. I am only 19 years old, and for a long time I saw that as my biggest weakness, just because I had a mindset of who's going to respect the skill and capability of a teenage girl on the internet. Because I didn't think that was official enough. And when we started talking, I had wanted to brand myself as a creative agency to sort of hide who I was, how old I was. Very quickly, I think in the first week, I decided that's not what I want, because if this is my superpower, then I shouldn't be creating to hide that, and I should be fine with that and proud of that. Yeah. So I'm just real young.
Age doesn't matter right now. If you can show you got the work and you got the creative thinking, like positioning you, because you're way more than a designer. All of you who are in this ball game right now, you got a brand strategist. You're doing brand identities, brand strategy. Technicians are designers, and that's what most freelancers out there. I'm a designer, but brand strategists get paid to think, and then the cherry on top is the design they execute as well. It's just a bonus. So that's what we're positioning all of you, is to like take that next step forward. And I think maybe that makes you uncomfortable when I keep hitting on that, but
I was going to say that is in my fear/struggle of this week, is because before I didn't really see myself as anything more than just a graphic designer. And so the thought of naming or branding myself as a brand strategist is intimidating, just because in general I don't feel that I have the authority in design to sort of take that title, but I do know that if I want to get that work, that's what I need to do, even though it's uncomfortable.
Well, and I'm in the realms of like teach what you know. So when you're soaking up Melinda Livesey or Chris Doe, or when James Martin comes on this month to drop a guest expert call, shout out to my boo James, or like Mike Janda, these people who live in this world. When you learn something from them, apply it yourself, talk about it, speak about it, maybe share a tip with someone else. And that's how you start positioning yourself, like that teach what you know. If you don't know it, then you don't know that part, but there's just these different elements. And so for you, while you're designing and creating your dope work, listen to something on brand strategy. I forgot to send you something from Melinda Livesey earlier today. Shout out to Melinda. Love her too. But that's the way you can take it at the same time, like consuming this while you're grinding at the same time. You're going to hit some ideas. You're like, oh shit, I need to stop my work right now, and 3-tiered pricing, or here's how I warm up a pitch real quick, things like that. Here's the big goals that I know this person wants to work towards. Let's start with the big, all of you who got on a call with me, we did big picture first. So I know which way or where you want to go. And then we work our way backwards. It's the same thing from a brand strategy standpoint, So those are the things that I know you can learn and apply now, because if you want to hit that freelance by 2021 full time, monetizing it, like the brand strategy is just part of the puzzle, and it just makes you feel more of a premium option to go along with your dope ass killer work, Oh my God. And where I was when I was 19, fuck, partying, drugs, football in college, girls acting like an idiot. Like, did not take myself seriously. I was a fool and just throwing my life away. So that's how I know it's your superpower, because by the time you get to my age, when you're 32, you're way more woke than I ever was before I hit 20. So that's why I bring this up. It's important. So you're going to be a rock star by the time you're 30, for sure. By the time you're 25, by the time you're 21, so age doesn't matter.
Well, I appreciate that. Definitely.
Let's talk about kind of your project approach real quick, and we can move on from there. So let people kind of know what you're working on, because it's
Right.
dope, and I think it's important to touch on.
I'm super excited about it. So one of the things we talked about when we had our initial calls was just I want to focus on branding, packaging design. So a big part of that was creating ghost brands at the moment while I don't have those real clients, and just to show this is what I can do and this is what it looks like on actual products. So I have been working on we're going to screen share. Okay.
Oh yeah, we're screen sharing.
Oh yeah. It looks nice because I got out that post today, so everything lines up.
Ooh, good timing.
Really well. I know. So this is my ghost brand blue collar coffee, and I have it pulled up because Nick commented on one of my posts, and we were trying to talk about like the feel and the vibe, and I think he said it perfectly. Because I said I was going forward like just a cranky old man is what I was channeling with the design and how I write parts of my captions. And Nick said he has his own recipe for his coffee and criticizes everyone else for theirs. He sticks to tradition and doesn't need anything fancy. And I think that describes the brand perfectly. So thank you, Nick, for that.
That's hilarious. Told you he's a writer.
I know.
He's a writer, folks.
But I've had a lot of fun with this brand and just making it rough and tumble. And the first roast that I did, I just described it as the Cowboy Blend is a dark roast with notes of bitter chocolate and burnt tumbleweeds, strong enough to put hair on a grown man's chest. So I love everything about this brand. I'm very sad that it's going to be done soon. I just finished up the last illustration for the last packaging today, and I have, I think, the next 6 posts done and in the beginning stages of drafting it. So my next 3 posts will be the packaging, a recipe post, a label post, and then the last 3 will just be some brand elements for Blue Collar Coffee, like logos and icon sets. So yeah.
Real quick, before we let you go, give us 3 tips on minimum of 3 on once you're done posting this on Instagram, what are some moves that you have made that have paid dividends that have led to already within one project getting some leads? So what are like 3 quick things off the top of your head that you've done to take your work to the next place of promotional marketing wise?
Right. Okay. So the first one is about 10 to 15 minutes before I actually post. I go on Instagram specifically and I go through accounts where I want their attention or I want their audience's attention. And I go like, follow, leave comments, try to genuinely engage with them. And I'll just be like heart emojis as comments, really, really digging in there. And then post. And so I think what that does is people will see notifications that you like their post and then go to your page and see your dope work that relates to them and their content. Another thing is I have dug into hashtags, which is one thing Scotty pushed me on, is finding those right numbers and what hashtags have a certain amount of posts. So I know his Side Hustlers Handbook has that. You guys should go buy it. It's fantastic.
Shout out.
Um,
If you hear this and you hear it from Lane, I will give you a promo code. So how about that? Lane just gave you a hookup. If you hit me up, DM me or email me. Please
there
continue.
you go.
That was not
Promo
prompted,
code
by the way.
Lane Train.
Oh, that's it.
If
Okay, you
we
get
can make that the promo
25%
code,
off
I'm
the
down.
Side Hustlers Handbook with promo code Lane. What? Lane Train. Yep. LAYNETRAIN. Okay, I almost put a Y in train. I got to give myself an action item to put that shit up. So Lane Train.
You better do it.
Promo code.
And then the last tip I have, which has been really instrumental, is just joining crap ton of Facebook groups for people who like coffee, coffee shop owners, coffee roasters. I just started posting process shots and mock-ups in these groups and trying to do it innocently of like, what do you guys think? Because some people don't allow self-promotion, but if you ask for an opinion, it's fine. And I actually had someone message me and say, hey, I do roasting on the side. I want to launch by holiday. Let's get on a call. So I actually just sent an email back to them that I'm going to get them a proposal tomorrow.
Show the work you want to get.
And exactly. And he also wants updated branding as well as packaging design. So that's like a 2-in-1, really.
You got one more tip?
Join Facebook groups. I think that was 3. Do I have?
Wait, yep, hashtags. Yep. So
that's
perfect.
3, yeah.
Where can people find you on Instagram real quick again? I don't know if you said it earlier.
It's Lane_Ewing, LAYNE_EWING.
Cool. Well, good shit. Way to flex your superpower. Use it towards your advantage, not disadvantage. So awesome, Lane. You're meant to be here. Cool. And hopefully your mom listens to it too now that we're Facebook friends. Shout out to Lane's mom. On deck, we got Chris.
I'm Chris Gore. I'm an illustrator and designer based in Asheville, North Carolina. My current passion project calls attention to the challenges the LGBTQ community faces. And I'm combining illustration and personal stories to promote acceptance and inclusivity to help the community feel seen, heard, and understood. My goal by mid-2021 is to have my own merchandise line that empowers my audience and helps them feel seen. As well, requests for book covers, editorial magazines, murals, and other custom illustration work.
Damn, you sounded professional as hell over there. Well, and with the nice haircut too. Awesome. What's something you're grateful for?
Today, I am grateful for work. I have work. Although I don't have a full-time job or anything consistent, things just keep popping up. And, I'm working for the census right now, and that's still going. And I'm also, I have a little branding project that I'm doing. So I'm just really appreciative of that coming in.
Abundance mindset, So what's kind of on your plate, or, do you kind of want to talk about the journey from June, or what's kind of on your mind right now?
I would say what's on my mind right now is I've been having some challenges coming up with ideas for posts, for stories. I had 2 ideas that I kind of had in my bank, and I looked back at them this week and just wasn't really excited about them. So I started kind of scrambling for something, and went down a million rabbit holes on the internet. But then I rediscovered something that I sketched out like a month ago. So that saved me. But I think that's my biggest challenge in getting a post out weekly, is coming up with those ideas.
Ooh, I love this world. This is a good world to be in. So idea generation. God, I even think I made a freaking episode. I gotta look this up quick now. Oh man, look at this. Look at the archive. And maybe there's some ideas in here, someone else who's listening, but we'll get off this here in a second. But collect your ideas and build a gold reserve. March 15th, I think in 2017 or 2017. Here's tons of ideas. I'm gonna post this in the chat. but ideas for idea generation. But then I have something else for you too on my mind. So when you currently get an idea, what's your process like?
It's not really very thought out right now. I usually come up with the idea, maybe write it down in my notes, and then start sketching something out in my notebook, just pencil and paper usually. And I'm trying to kind of keep them all in one place so that I can find them easier. But that's basically it. Sometimes it just is something that comes from a conversation or something I see on social perhaps, but because I'm not really, I don't feel like I'm very much connecting with people as much, especially, in
the
my
early
peeps.
stages. Yeah.
So those ideas, I just feel kind of stuck. Like, okay, what can I talk about now? And, like with these stories, I'm teaching people and
stories, not Instagram stories, but your actual posts, right?
Oh yeah. Yeah. Yes. What I'm talking about, there's some element of vulnerability and learning. So kind of balancing that and figuring out what can I talk about that's personal, but also
aligns with the bigger
can help
picture of right here. Look at that. There it is. There's the elevator pitch. Learning something. Everybody's getting some gold from this today. Okay. So one win that you had talked about within like a month of posting regularly, you've already hit 100 followers, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So some ideas, maybe we can get more people involved. So whoever's like commenting on here, do you notice like the repeating people outside of like the program, like repeat people kind of slowly continue to engage with your stuff?
Yeah, I think right now I'm getting more engagement on Facebook because a lot of them are personal friends or acquaintances that I have already, whereas my Instagram page is professional and I'm still generating that.
It's new here, but you have a presence over on Facebook.
Right. And I created a page and I created a page this week on Facebook and somebody shared it already. So that was cool.
What's your page?
Illustration by Chris.
Well, I'm asking, I'm just going to go like it on the fly.
And I mean, I know I don't really ask a question or a call to action in my posts. So that would probably help with engagement.
Okay. That was one of the things I wanted to talk about. I'm sharing this in the group real quick so we all can go like that page while we're on it. Okay, call to actions. Call to actions, definitely. But first, let me capture the first idea. So why I wanted to ask, where is your audience at right now? Again, this just proves the point. Like Instagram isn't the end all be all. Like I specialize in Instagram, but also like you could really tap into audiences somewhere on like Instagram or Facebook, LinkedIn, even Reddit, TikTok, whatever, Twitter. So Facebook seems to be where you have that presence the most. And would you say for that perfect audience, these perfect people, the perfect person, do you think they relate to kind of like your mission? Are they people within the LGBTQ community?
Yeah, there's tons of that kind of artwork.
But like the people that are commenting
funny.
that are in, your community on Facebook, the people that know you, are they within this community, would you say? A good portion of them that interact with you?
Maybe a quarter to a third of them.
Perfect. Okay. We need to get them involved. Get people involved in your dream right now. And people are going to generate ideas for you. And this is what I live. All my content is basically like based off what people like you or anybody out there listening gives me what their biggest struggles are. So maybe it's you, maybe it's tell a story, be like, hey, I need your help. People want to be a part of something, especially they want to support or be a part of like someone they really know, like, and trust. So let's put like a call out there. What's like your funniest experience or what's like the biggest struggle you've had because of this, or you identify as this and you always deal with this, let's, so that way you're having help with this? Does this make you uncomfortable to kind of ask to get people involved?
No,
Good.
no, I think that's a great idea.
Okay. Because people are going to give you this. So give you the answers and provide you content for weeks and weeks and weeks. I would never not run out of content right now because I've collected this stuff for years. So I will never have a creative block of not know what to talk about. I will not. And it's because of this. So when you get people's responses now, you saw how I use Notion. That's where I pretty much have my planner. And I even have like a board that's just strictly ideas. I want you to just have an ongoing thing in Notion because you downloaded that now, right? So you have this ongoing content idea. And so mine's broken up into different pages. I have carousel ideas. I have topics related to money since I want to start talking about that more, reels ideas. So anytime I ever have an idea, that way it lives on my phone or I can access it on my computer, iPad, wherever, and generate that idea. Or you can just act in the moment, do a quick little sketch, but always just have your bank of ideas here. And I want to put out a post, whether it's Friday or actually the sooner the better, I would say, so we can get ahead. So by tomorrow, if you're able to, and I can help you kind of think of a way to wordsmith this and ask for help, but let's crowdsource some ideas. And what would be like a good topic you would want to talk about? You want to educate, right?
Yeah.
So like they and them, you have been so helpful for me in growing and learning. Like I want to learn. So you've been helpful for me. And I'm not even like the perfect person in your following, like, so when you have that perfect person in mind, why we do that is from a marketing perspective. So you're hitting home with someone, but you'll find what you're talking about is going to ripple and affect other people, So they, them, that was very helpful for me.
Yeah.
And people call me out on it to fix it.
So I think it goes both ways because my community is with the LGBTQ folks. And I'm educating people like you on, inclusivity and
yeah. So
equity.
What would be like a good topic then that we can formulate like a post to get people to chime in on and give you ideas?
Oh, geez.
Spitball on the fly right now.
Yeah.
What kind of builds off of they, them, or talking about pronouns? Like what if it was a pronoun series?
Yeah. The post that I did with a chameleon and it was all the different pronouns around that got a lot of engagement from kind of everybody.
Ooh. Okay. To me, when I see like one piece of content work, how can I do more? How can I go more in depth on it? How can I take the macro content and I'll break it down? So that one piece could be turned into a series to educate people. And then that could become a fucking guide that could be like Jackie that we'll talk to in a little bit and can be turned into something. Or it could be a product. It could be a calendar. It could be something. How to be a good ally, Marvin says in the chat. I had the chat off, but now I can't help it. I love seeing what you guys talk about in there. How to be a good ally series. That could be.
Yeah, I like that.
That could be awesome. And that way we can plan out instead of like, the theme here is to never guess what you're going to work on. Like we have a plan, especially at the end of this. So maybe this little series then turns into another series, but this kind of like, how does this sound right now?
That sounds, I'm excited about that. That sounds good.
And maybe a post, you can still reach out and if you kind of already know what you want to talk about, you can still put it out there, be like, hey, I'm looking to start this. I was thinking like Pokemon cards, but not sure if cards for a deck. Ooh, a card game or something. That could be cool. Some kind of card series, an illustrative card series. And you're a great writer too. So maybe it's something like, hey, I'm not saying, I'm just using this name for an example, like how to be an ally series. And I want to really educate the public about helping us feel more inclusive and belonging and accepted and everything. So I want to educate people. And, what are kind of some things you would think would be important to talk about? If I was to make this series, what's the one thing you feel is important that needs to be talked about in this series? And they are becoming your allies now. And now you can use their voice or use them from your experience instead of like getting stuck on maybe a caption. Now you can share someone's story. And now it really plays into the role of how to be an ally. So do you think this could be like a good road to go down to eliminate thinking? And now we can start building out like a campaign of this and think about what it could live in and marinate on this overnight. Like, what could this turn into? Because I want your shit to live far past an Instagram post. That's kind of what we're working on with Jackie. What could this become? Sleep on it tonight.
Yeah.
What's going through your mind right now?
Well, it could be a little booklet or a poster, kind of like phases of the moon, but phases of
a poster series could be dope.
Humans.
Poster series could be dope. And then that poster series could be like a downloadable PDF somehow, like those posters, like a spread, open somehow. Then it could turn into something else. Okay, marinate on this. And action items is let's say by Monday, I want to have a list of what this could turn into. So we're thinking about the 7 habits of highly effective people. Keep the end in mind is one of the habits. So what could this turn into? And that's going to direct us on how we're creating posts. So if it's going to be a poster series, we need to maybe it's 16 by 20, 24 by 36, but then how does that convert to an Instagram post portrait wise? 1080 by 1350, times it by 2, working bigger canvases. Maybe even times it by 3 then, if it's going to be printed at a larger size for your print on demand shop. You see what I mean? Got to think and then scale back. And then also think about how it's going to be cropped into a square on your feed. So the important information is getting lost somewhere. This is dope. Okay, so action items by Monday, list out anything it could turn into. It could be sooner. And then when this episode comes out, I want you to at least have 1 to 2 pieces done by this. For this. So
sure.
people just heard us talk about it and now they're seeing you take action on it. But any other questions? Because I know coming on, you weren't really sure what we're going to talk about. And this just manifested in something awesome.
Yeah. The other thing is just noticing what Coley was saying about, her schedule. And I realized that I don't have a very specific schedule of when I'm in the ideation phase versus sketching versus vectorizing, posting, batching things. I haven't done any of that. Yeah, totally winging it. And that's why I'm getting behind.
An all-star athlete, by the way, just saying, in track and field, just throwing it out there, flexing. You're an athlete. So Mondays are upper body, Tuesdays are powerlifting, Wednesdays are more conditioning and cardio related, Thursday's pregame, and Friday is a pregame meal, carb up, and then Friday's the game, So it's the same thing. So here's another action item. When do you want to post? Typically it's Friday, I believe.
I want to post on Wednesdays. I'm going to post tomorrow for this one. Okay.
Let's change our verbiage. No wants, no tries, no hopes. So you will be posting. So you will, what day is your series? And life comes at you, but I want to we understand this. I'm not saying if you don't post this, you're a failure. So just so people who are listening in know what to expect. So that way we can work backwards. Is Wednesday the day? That way we can start setting up our schedule, our routine.
Wednesday's the day.
Wednesday. So next week, the next post goes out Wednesday. So we got to start crowdsourcing shit ASAP, thinking of ideas. So, oh my God, by the end of tomorrow, we need to start thinking of keep the end in mind of what this is going to turn into. We need to figure that out by tomorrow, not Sunday. So because Wednesday's coming around the corner. So that means sketching on this day, vector process phase 1 on this one, color here, final product and photo. And there we go from there. So let's get 1 down and then we can expand it. And that 1 post, then we can create 2 posts out of it. Maybe it's a work in progress or something. Cool.
That sounds good.
And this is something, after you start locking down this schedule tomorrow and knowing where it's want to be, run it by me, run it by the group.
For sure.
Cool. Good shit. Anything else you want to leave us with?
Keep hustling, keep grinding, listen to Scotty's podcast because it's very inspiring. And also there's 1,000 other inspiring podcasts out there.
These don't matter right now. No, I appreciate you. It's been dope to see that journey from June to now. You're a completely different person. I hope you see it too.
I do. And it's been game changer.
We've just gotten started. So can't wait to see where you're at by the end of 12 weeks. So appreciate you, Chris.
Thanks.
And I want to be a testimonial too when you start like putting out products and everything and be like, I educated this dumbass. So I got him caught up to speed.
For sure.
All right. Appreciate you. We got Jackie.
So my name is Jackie Masadani. I illustrate and storytell under the name Water Monkey Art. And I'm based out of San Francisco Bay Area in California. My current project has officially been named Mello's Mini Mental Health Handbook, which is a way to drive awareness and cultivate conversations surrounding mental health, particularly with depression and anxiety. So the reason behind that is because as a suicide survivor and someone who suffers from depression and anxiety myself, I want to create art as resources to educate folks about mental health and pieces that viewers can relate to in order to shed light on this very important topic that is becoming more prevalent in our society. My future goals for this series is to create and sell products such as prints, t-shirts, cards, comics, and pins, starring the characters that are featured in this mental health series as a way to uplift folks and remind them that they are not alone with their struggles.
You really thought this through. Think about where we were in June when we linked up first to now. Like,
it's
wow,
crazy.
wow. Like clarity. There it is.
Mm-hmm.
Because you wanted to talk about like some video games and sprinkle that stuff in too. And I mean, and maybe it can still bring in that context, but man, look how deep you're going and the impact you're making. You're already getting people reaching out, right? So it's like, you're onto something. How good does that feel? I mean, like, wow.
It's pretty cool. It's also very surreal. Just like, I never really imagined having people reach out to me to make art before. I mean, granted, a lot of the messages that I've received have been like really rando posts. People with 0 followers on Instagram just be like, hey, follow this page and we'll get you some likes.
You get some weird stuff, but you got like real comments from people letting you know like your stuff is already making an impact.
Yeah, I've already had like one of my relatives reach out saying like, as soon as this becomes a book, please let me know and I will be the first to order.
Yes, that's what it's about. Yep.
Yeah.
And now we're training behavior. Like every time at the end of your post, hey, this is what this is a part of. So what's one thing you're grateful for before I forget?
I think I'm grateful for, really grateful for this group for like the accountability, both with keeping up with a schedule to post the art and also recently for like our exercise regimen. So I know Katie started that and sort of a lot of us have started hopping on that train, going for runs in the morning, just getting the juices running before
Where is
work.
this at? Is this like a separate group or something somewhere?
The Facebook Messenger group.
Oh my gosh, I must have missed this when I'm well, I'm probably gonna pass if it's running. I'm good on that, but that's dope. I've missed that. Okay. The power of the family. What's kind of on your plate? What are you going through? What do you want to talk about? What's on your mind?
Right now, I feel pretty set in the project that I'm working on, with the content that I'm posting, kind of similar struggles to what Chris was mentioning about like content creation, probably more in like the future. And also, I guess interaction and engaging with the audience.
You're trying to generate more engagement to connect with people?
And then making it a little bit more fluid, trying to find a flow in that.
So what are you currently doing then in terms of generating a prompt for conversation? Have you been seeing any kind of like conversations happening or where have you been getting kind of the engagement that you're seeking?
I feel like most of the engagement I've been getting has actually been on my Facebook posts. So I, whenever I post something on Instagram, I have it shared to my personal Facebook page automatically. A lot of the engagement has actually come through friends and relatives on that Facebook page. But I think more of what I would like to do or like to see is conversations and engaging with audiences on Instagram as well.
Okay. And I can see right here what we're kind of talking about with Chris is giving people a call to give them a reason to engage and comment on stuff with you. So right for the jump, let's start a conversation immediately. So give me in a short, condensed one sentence, what's this post about?
The one that's on the picture, that's on the screen.
Yep. And there's a reason why I'm asking.
Oh, okay. So the picture is of Mello and Graham, who are the stars of my current mental health series. Graham suffers from depression and anxiety, and Mello is sort of his emotional support animal and picks up on different symptoms of depression and anxiety that Graham exhibits. So Graham is having a pretty rough day, feeling very lethargic and wants to just stay in bed all day. Mello picks up on that, and he just cuddles up, curls up. He is as much of a support as he can be. Okay.
And so overall, you're diagnosing pretty much like the symptoms of depression?
Right.
Okay. What's kind of the main one that you feel that is like the most common symptom that pops up for you that you can diagnose like, oh man, I'm going through some things right now?
Definitely the lethargy. Also like feelings of hopelessness. Maybe, the self-loathing, feeling like everything's going to collapse on top of me.
Perfect. There we go. That's what I was looking for. Okay. I talk about in caption writing, there's the hook. What's the one thing that's going to capture someone's attention and get them to read more or prompt them to like engage and get involved with this? And so I like to at times lead off kind of with a question and to kind of like engage someone like, oh, they immediately read that. Because right here, if I don't know what the hell you're talking about, I'm not going to know what this is about. Swipe to see the process. Okay, that's fine. Like some people are just lazy and going to go look. So what I would want to lead off with is, have you ever felt one of those days where you just feel like the world is crumbling in around you? And do like a hands raised emoji, just immediately, like you're doing kind of like an engagement sandwich. You wrap it in like a question to bring people in. Or you could just like write in big caps, depression, have you ever have you ever seen these? Have you ever noticed these X amount of symbols for depression before? Or have you ever noticed these symptoms? Yeah, I'm basically rewording myself, but leading it off with some type of question could really sink people's teeth into it. And then you can go into like the body of it and what it's going to be about. And I really, really like this. This is a great job of kind of like breaking things up. I would even say put like a line break in here so it's easier to get that separation between each one of these. But as you go through it, at the end too, kind of wrap it back up. This is a series. Kind of give people like the series kind of wrap up, just a one sentence little nugget. This needs to like at the end of each one of these posts, you need to let them know that it's from like the mental health handbook that you got working on. That way people know what's going on with it. Did you say anything about it on this?
I don't think I had the name.
Okay.
Whenever I posted this one. Okay.
If you ever run out of characters too, feel free to just post all the hashtags in the first comment right away as well. Same thing there. F depression, is that a thing or is the F supposed to be there?
Yeah, the F's supposed to be there.
All right, cool. It is?
All right. I do curse, but I don't want to put them in my hashtags.
Oh, gotcha. Well, here's another little tip right here. There's only 12 posts underneath or under this. So nobody's trafficking. So no one's going to reach and see this post.
Okay.
So I will swear I give 2 fucks. Fuck depression. Is there a hashtag? Oh my God, there's a money hashtag. I wouldn't use that. Only 200. The lowest I would use for you in a smaller account is like 10,000, maybe 10,000. Maybe I wouldn't go over like really a million, but like F depression, anxiety, there's no usage. No one's ever going to find it. So, and why we use hashtag is to reach a more organic new audience out there. So this is just doing you harm. It's basically like one of your, I think Andy J. Miller says lottery ticket, but I like to use it for hashtags. That theory of like, you're just throwing away one of your tickets right now of your 30 to reach new people. So if you don't want to use the full fuck depression, I don't blame you. That's okay. But just know it could reach the right amount of people, and nobody's going to scroll down and see that last hashtag that says it. Just so you know, you're going to capture everybody up here. So yeah, lead off with some type of question or something that's going to like hook someone. Let people know. Yeah, I like that. Like, have you ever noticed, do you struggle with these symptoms of depression, or have you noticed these symptoms of depression in you or someone else? And then go into the storytelling, let people know a quick little tidbit on every little post, what Graham and Mellow is about. So you have to have like that little mini micro elevator. There's different levels of elevator pitches. You got your super short, like sentence. You can have like a paragraph, then you can have a longer one, or it could be like a full story, like an hour-long speech. So I would have like a 1 to 2 sentence overview of what the series is. And then maybe end it how, if you're struggling for this, like what's one way that you get through it, or what's some way that you have some type of self-care to get through it, like let people know, connect below, and let people know that like Graham and Mellow is a series that's inspired by your experiences with this, to connect on a deeper level.
Yes.
Is that helpful? Does that make sense? Or any questions? I feel like I'm kind of going on tangents. So from here, what's some action items we can set up, or any action items you set on yourself? Like one for me, when's your next post?
Tonight.
Tonight. Right. What's your post about? Let's come up with a hook right here. How about this is going to be the action item for tonight? Let's
my post is about misconceptions and myths surrounding depression. So I wanted to talk about, I guess, sort of incorporate pop culture into this, because there have been a string of celebrities that have taken their own lives recently, like in the last 2 or 3 years. So I wanted to incorporate that because a lot of people have said, like, oh, I didn't know that so-and-so was depressed, like Kate Spade, Anthony Bourdain, Chester Bennington. Bennington,
yeah.
So just using that as a starting point for saying, like, hey, these people did not exhibit the symptoms that we would typically associate with depression, but they were still suppressing those, and they were still feeling those symptoms deep within.
How many do you have, like a like a cadence, a listicle of here's 5 myths that you may not have known about depression or something like that?
I think I have like 3 or 4. So one that like most people would associate sadness, like constant sadness, with depression. Most people think that only women are affected by depression, which is completely completely untrue, given like the number of male celebrities that have committed suicide in recent.
Do you talk about like the celebrity stuff in this caption too a little bit?
I'm planning to, yes.
Okay, perfect. So a hook for this one would be like to generate interest. Would be like, do you believe in these 3 myths about depression, or how could we reword this? Kind of immediately like generate curiosity with it. 3 myths about depression you may believe. Or that would be a good title. Do you believe any of these 3 myths about depression? And then question mark. And then clearly I want to like read below, gosh, those could even be like in a carousel. You could like type those up on a screen, repurpose the background, or like put a photo overlay, like a white photo overlay of your current design, and then just like type something in there so people can swipe and see it too. For people who are swiping to see your art, then they could see that. That could be cool. But that's another way to kind of like add a little bit more engaging, because you're more than your art. You're a great writer. And now some people are just swipers in carousel, and some people want to read the caption. But now if you put like little nuggets in your carousels too, like Nick's been doing, but just, it could be like one, like myth number 1, depression only affects women. That's all you had to write. Doesn't have to be perfect. Take you 2 seconds. Maybe that's a lot for you to do tonight, or you can do it while you're still on the call. But is that helpful, kind of like the lead off with that? And maybe end it with something like, is there a myth that you notice that revolves around depression? Find a nice way to like word it yourself. But have you noticed any myths, or have anybody ever told you something that you were just, thought was crazy about depression? Just to building it. If nobody answers, that's fine. You're training people, right? So it's going to take time. You got to stay in front of people, but that hook is most important for people in your caption. And the only thing I don't like when it auto posts to Facebook is 30 hashtags looks really weird on a Facebook post. It doesn't feel as personalized. So I know it does the auto post. So maybe like posting immediately in your comments would help that. You know, it's a different platform, you know, so like trying to play the same rules just doesn't work as well. So I'd probably eliminate those hashtags. But does that help kind of like with the hook as well as leaving people with like a comment, you know,
Yes.
getting engagement? Okay.
Yes, definitely.
Cool. So you got some work to do right now, huh?
Oh, yes.
All right. Well, I think those are good action items for you to like act on ASAP if your post goes out tonight. So awesome. Where can people go again on your Instagram? I think you said it.
Yeah, at Watermonkey Art.
Cool. I'll have it in the show notes as well. Thank you,
Cool.
Cousin
Thank
Jackie. That's what it is now, I guess. All right. Appreciate you. Thanks again for listening. It'd be awesome if you took the time to subscribe to the channel, hit the like button, and let the comment below so we can connect. Again, if you want to catch a shout out as a future listener of the week, make sure you subscribe to the show on iTunes and give it a rating and review.